Hey guys, Maurice Bay here. Got another video for you today with some of my experiences and some of the things that I'm learning as a new trucker. Just got my CDL about 6 months ago, and I know I used to look on YouTube for a lot of information and a lot of stuff I didn't see as a new trucker. And so I figured I'd start making videos about the things that I'm learning as a new trucker. So today I want to talk to you about some of the things that I'm learning as far as shifting the truck. Shifting the truck was frustrating to me when I first started driving, but that was because I had a hard time getting it right. But as I got it right, as I started to get better at shifting's a lot of fun. So, you know, showing you the gauges here on the truck and on the RPM gauge and the speedometer, because those are two of the main factors as far as when you're going to shift and how you're going to shift, how fast you're going, the engine speed and the road speed. So you see the shifting pattern right there that we follow, and it's a 10-speed, 5 gears on the low side, then you flip the switch and then you go to the high side, and it's 5 more gears on the high side. So let's get started. Again, one of the main things that's going to determine, when it's time to shift is your engine speed and your road speed. Your road speed is how fast the truck is going. On the right, the speedometer, and the RPMs. On the left is how fast the engine is rotating, basically how many revolutions per minute the engine is doing. So you see, you got an orange section, you got a green section, and then you got another orange section. The green section, and I'm about to slow down up here, so I'm about to be downshifting because I'm getting off of this exit coming up. The orange, where it is now, is what is important when you're downshifting, which is what I'm about to do. When you see that orange, your RPM gauge drop below that orange section, that's when it's time to downshift. Okay, and downshifting only consists of taking the truck out of gear and then putting the truck back in a lower gear, which means you're gonna have to give the truck some gas after you take it out of gear. And every time you see that RPM gauge jump up like that, that's because I'm giving it gas. Right, so as you're slowing down, of course, because your engine speed is slowing down, you'll see the RPM gauge go down, and when it gets down under that orange, then that's when you're gonna take the truck out of gear, either with the clutch or not, and then you're gonna give the engine some gas, and you're gonna get it back up in the green, and then you're gonna put it in gear. Now, when you're upshifting, it's the exact opposite process. Right now, I got the camera focused on the brake, the gas, and the clutch, so you can actually see what I'm doing with the pedal and listen to the motor at the same time. I'm not using the clutch. Again, when you're upshifting, all you're doing is every time the RPM gauge goes to the top of the green, goes to the high point, almost up to the orange, that's when you're gonna take the truck out of gear, and then you won't have to give it any gas because the engine speed will slow down on its own because you got it out of gear and you're not giving it any gas. And when it gets to the bottom of the green, that's when you put it back in the next gear and then give it more gas. You gotta time it right. If you're upshifting, you gotta make sure you time it right. It's not quite like driving a stick shift, a car. Basically, again, you gotta give it a second once you take the truck out of gear to put the truck back in gear. Boom, boom, 1, 2, not one direct movement. And so I take the truck out of gear, and then I let my foot off of the gas, and then I take the truck out of gear, and then I put it back in gear, maybe a half a second later. Again, it's timing, you gotta feel that out. And then after I get it in gear, I give it more gas, and you never have to use the clutch. You use the clutch when you take off, but pretty much that's gonna be it when you're taking off, or when you're putting it back in gear when you're slowing down. So got the RPM shot going again here, and back to the pedals. You can listen to the motor and hear what's going on and see what I'm doing with the pedal, so you can get an idea of how to shift without using a clutch. Again, you can use the clutch or you don't have to. The green is right there because if you take the truck out of gear and put it back in gear when it's in the green, you won't have to use the clutch. The clutch is mainly beneficial when you're not in the green. You can use it in the green, but you don't have to. Of course, when you're looking to pass your driver's test, in Virginia, you're going to need to double clutch. So, but once you get out on the road, you're probably not going to be double clutching very much. So, with that being said, I got to get back on the road. I want y'all to be safe. If this video was helpful, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more. Peace.